It's so disappointing when you have been researching a fragrance, it's really hyped up, you watch reviews on it, you go onto Fragrantica to see what everybody's saying about this particular fragrance, you end up biting the bullet, you buy it, it arrives, you spray it on, it shrivels up and dies on you. Ew, that has happened to me a few times. And to say, in all honesty, these fragrances smell incredible. Otherwise, they would not be in my collection. They're just really bad performers. If you want to know what they are, keep watching. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you clicked on today's video. I have 10 fragrances that are my worst performing in my collection, and I do have a lot of fragrances, but these are fragrances that are either really shy as far as projection and have poor longevity. They just don't last. I'm curious, have you guys purchased fragrances because they were so hyped up, you got them, and then they just did the same thing, they just didn't perform for you? Now, I have to say, everybody's skin is so different, and I don't doubt that the people talking about the fragrances lasting a long time, they just don't last a long time on me. And so the ones I talk about today, they may be one of your favorites and they last forever on you. I'm just curious. Let me know. And if I'm talking about one of these fragrances that is one that is beast mode on you, let me know in the comments. I think that would be really interesting to see what everybody thinks about these fragrances. I'm going to start at number 10 and work my way down to number 1, which will be the worst fragrance. So let's just get right on into it. At number 10, we have Memoire d'une Odeur Eau de Parfum by Gucci. Now, I did mention this fragrance in my last video as a great, fresh, clean type of fragrance, especially for the summertime, and it is. It's just not one of my better performing fragrances. This is a very soft fragrance that gets very close to the body. It becomes almost a skin scent. It has a really nice chamomile. There's a bitter almond, and then you're getting a little bit of a soft jasmine, slight floral, and a creamy vanilla, which really adds to this fragrance. Now, this is a unisex fragrance. It's right down the middle. It works great for men, women. It's just right down the middle. Perfect. It just is a really poor performer. It doesn't last a super long time on my skin. I will give it this. It lasts a bit longer on my clothes, which is nice. I wish this particular fragrance lasted a lot longer. Let me know if you have it. Does it last a long time on you? Or do you get poor performance? Let me know in the comments. But again, this is Memoire d'une Odeur by Gucci. At number 9, we have Coco Noir Eau de Parfum by Chanel. And this is my most recent Chanel that my sister-in-law gave me as a gift, and I appreciate it so much because I do like Chanel fragrances, and this is a beautiful smelling fragrance, very feminine. It has some mystery to it, some depth. There's grapefruit, some peach, a little bit of rose, some creamy sandalwood that mixes nicely with some vanilla and patchouli, and the patchouli definitely stands out in this fragrance. So if you're a patchouli lover, this is a really nice fragrance. However, the performance on this one was disappointing. I thought this was going to last a really long time on me, and it just doesn't. I get about 4 hours and it's completely gone. And I thought maybe I became nose blind to it. When I asked my husband if he could still smell it, he couldn't smell it either. So unfortunately, this is just a bad performing fragrance on me. Let me know how it is on you. But this was Coco Noir by Chanel. At number 8, we have GOLDEA, the Roman Nights Absolute Eau de Parfum by Bvlgari. And this is a very unique fragrance. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this one, but it smells really good. There's a plum that's juicy, a creamy vanilla, a little bit of patchouli, as well as moss. This is a very deep, somewhat dark type of fragrance that is very sensual. This is one of those fragrances that you want to wear on a date night. This is a fragrance that when I spray on, I'm going out with my husband, I'll spray it on at the house. By the time we get to where we're going, this is like a skin scent that you can barely smell, which is very unfortunate because it is a beautiful fragrance. I absolutely love the way this one smells and would love to know if you guys have better luck with it. Again, this was GOLDEA, the Roman Nights Absolute by Bvlgari. At number 7, we have Viva la Juicy Gold Couture Eau de Parfum by Juicy Couture. This is a men magnet. Men absolutely love this fragrance. I can see why. It's delicious. It's boozy. It's decadent. It has caramel, praline, some wild berries, a little bit of jasmine and vanilla. It's just this seductive, fun, flirty type of fragrance that is yummy. However, the flirtiness, the fun kind of teeters out after a few hours and it just becomes almost non-existent. And I wish that it lasted longer. It does okay on the clothes. You'll get about 4 hours, at least on my clothes, but on my skin, only a couple of hours, which is extremely disappointing, but a great, delicious smelling fragrance. And that was the Viva La Juicy Gold Couture by Juicy Couture. At number 6, we have Alien Goddess Eau de Parfum by Mugler. This is that woman that's been at the beach all day. She's that beach goddess. This has coconut water, jasmine, vanilla, so there's a creaminess to it. It's just beautiful. This is such a disappointment. I'm so bummed with this particular fragrance. And I kind of knew what I was getting into. I'll be really honest with you, because there were a lot of people saying that it didn't last long. And I figured, well, maybe it doesn't last long on them. Maybe it'll last a lot longer on me. And no, they were right. This is a poor performing fragrance. I want to know if you're one of the lucky ones out there that this one lasts forever on the skin. Let me know in the comments. It is a beautiful, sexy, fun, flirty type of fragrance, but it just kind of disappears very quickly on me. And again, this was Alien Goddess by Mugler. At number 5, we have Sinner Eau de Parfum by Kat Von D. This is that dark, mysterious fragrance that is just beautiful, elusive. And the bottle is very different. If you'll look, you can see the pattern and then you'll see a skull. So almost goth-like. But oh my gosh, the plum in here is juicy. It's ripe. It mixes with a cinnamon. So there's a slight spiciness going on. And then patchouli. And the patchouli is very strong in here and mixes with vanilla. I love this. It's very, very different. Now, this fragrance itself has been discontinued and it's really hard to get your hands on. This is definitely one that you will need to respray. This disappears very, very quickly. You can, spray this into an atomizer and take it with you, especially if you love dark fragrances. This is dark. I love it. Again, this is Sinner by Kat Von D. At number 4, we have Ataraxia Eau de Parfum by Pearla Nera. This is a really nice smelling fragrance. This reminds me a lot of Black Opium by Yves Saint Laurent. This is really, really nice. It has a pink pepper. There's a juicy pear. You're going to pick up on the coffee in here. And it's a creamy, almost like a cappuccino type of coffee that mixes with some vanilla and patchouli. The patchouli is very light in here. You're going to get more of that vanilla. It's creamy. It's decadent. It smells very gourmand-like. Beautiful fragrance. However, this disappears pretty quickly on my skin. So that's disappointing. I wish that it lasted longer because I think it's a great fragrance. And this one again was Ataraxia by Pearla Nera. At number 3, we have Eidola Eau de Parfum by Navitus. This is the epitome of femininity. This is that woman that's pretty, feminine, very girly. It has a very soft, powdery rose, hints of mandarin, some peach, as well as patchouli. This is really pretty. When I wear this one, I feel so pretty, but that doesn't last for long because it quickly disappears on my skin. This is one of those fragrances that I will douse myself in. And by the time I get to where I'm going, unfortunately, it's either a skin scent or non-existent. And that's really unfortunate because I think they did a great job with this scent. I just wish it had some more staying power. And again, that was Eidola by Navitus. At number 2, we have Nirvana Amethyst Eau de Parfum by Elizabeth and James. This is a fragrance I love based on that tobacco note that's in here. That's a sweet pipe tobacco, if that makes sense. So it's not ashy. It's done really well. Has a sweetness to it that mixes with some honeysuckle as well as some spices. So there's a slight spiciness going on there. Very well blended, a very nice fragrance. This disappears very quickly. I mean, it's like an hour or two and it is completely gone, which is so disappointing because I really, really like this fragrance. Does anyone else have this one? Do you have better luck with it? Let me know your experience with it. But again, this was the Nirvana Amethyst by Elizabeth and James. And at number 1, my worst performing fragrance is Rich Warm Addictive Eau de Parfum by Zara. And Zara is known to have a lot of really good fragrances, but they're also known for poor performance. I have several Zara perfumes and they just don't last a long time. And I wish this one did because it really is addictive. It has that honey, there's coconut, tobacco, and a little bit of some sandalwood. It's divine. It's decadent. It's a cozy, welcoming, just you want to hug someone wearing this one. And if you're wearing it, people want to hug you. It's just, but it disappears really, really quick. Now, this one is geared towards men. And in my opinion, I find this one more unisex, even feminine leaning, but a great fragrance. If you do not mind respraying, you will enjoy this one. I have to respray it. I can't get rid of it because the smell is so incredible. And if you've had a chance to smell this one, you'll know what I'm talking about, but really, really bad performance. And again, that was the Rich Warm Addictive by Zara. Come on, Zara, make your fragrances last longer. Anyway, there you have my 10 fragrances from my collection that are my worst performing ones. They still smell great. But I would love to know again from you guys what's your, worst performing fragrance in your collection. If you ended up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell, and then each time I upload a new fragrance review. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you again real soon.